So the country's first super city was born in 2010. 5 years on, here we are, dealing with hefty rates increases, more council staff than ever before, debilitating traffic congestion and soaring house prices in our biggest city. Not to mention a wildly unpopular mayor, that's you, Len, and a council at odds with central government. With me now is Auckland Councillor Dick Quax. Dick, good morning.
Good morning, Paul.
Thank you very much for joining us. It seems to me, looking from the outside, that this is a council in crisis reaching a crescendo.
Well, you know, we've got some problems. Look, the problem started with the unitary plan, and now we have got the long-term plan that we just passed. Rates going up by 9%, 9.9%. It's too much.
It is just too much, and it seems to me that Len Brown's plan, for a start, is flawed. His plan for the city, his plan for transport, his plan for housing is flawed, but he intends to pay for this flawed plan by going to the ratepayer that he sees as a bottomless pit of money.
Well, you know, Len's got to go back to his original election promise, which was to cap rates at 2.5%, or around about the rate of inflation. You know, he's delivered us a rate increase of 9.9%, and yet he goes on to say that he's fulfilled that promise of 2.5%.
But that's just it's blindly ridiculous that he should say that. Essentially, this has made Len Brown out to be a liar. He promised 2.5. We've had spectacular rate rises since then.
Absolutely. And look, it's not just the fact that the rates are going up. The housing affordability crisis in Auckland has got to the stage now where only 17% of Pacific Island people are able to own their own home. It's a social and cultural and economic crisis that's staring us in the face.
All right, Dick, I know that you don't necessarily agree with me when I say the entire super city's broken, but have a look at the key things. In several key indicators, there's conflict with the government. The worst one, I think, is transport, where you've got the Transport Minister saying, we don't think your plan is any good. In fact, we're so sure your plan is no good, we're not going to give you access to the tools to fund it. I mean, that is a crisis. You've got more staff now being employed than ever before. You've got rates skyrocketing. You've got a special allowance being put in place for transport, when in fact the transport spend is, by the look of it, is going to go down.
Well, the transport spend in the 2 years leading up to this plan was $2.4 billion. We're now down to $1.9 billion.
It makes a joke.
Despite the fact that we're asking people to dig in their pockets and give us $100 each for every ratepayer.
The trouble is, this has now been locked in, hasn't it? So this is going to happen to fund a bad, ill-conceived plan.
Well, it's in for the next 3 years, or until the government decide that they will give us the tools, which I don't believe they will.
Or until we get rid of bloody land.
I don't believe the government will give us the tools.
Well, not unless they can be convinced that this is a good plan, and they've got very substantive reasons for believing it's a bad plan. So as a councillor, you're going to sit back and let Aucklanders pay money towards an ill-conceived plan?
No, I'm going to continue to say it's an ill-conceived plan, but, you know, it's a democracy in there. We have votes, and me, along with about 6 or 7 others, are in the minority. We believe it's a poor plan. We believe that the mayor has absolutely no reason to increase the rates by 9.9%. In fact, my colleagues and I put up a proposal to say that we should get the money from the existing budgets.
Yeah, it's a huge budget. You've got a huge budget.
And you know, the operational budget is $3 billion. Just 2% of that would have paid for this particular transport plan.
Yeah, it's not going to pay for a stupid rapid rail plan, though, is it?
Well, the rapid rail plan, you know, the government, we're charging ahead with that, and the government has said, look, we'll start paying for that in 2020. Fair enough. But already we've spent close to $500 million on that rail project.
Yeah, absolutely.
With no guarantee that the government will reimburse us for that.
It is a cot case, the way the council is being run at the moment, and you're part of it.
Absolutely, and you know, I will continue to be the voice of opposition, along with some of my colleagues, Sharon Stewart, my fellow colleague from Howick,
right.
George Wood, And
You'd like voices in the wilderness, though, because
you're
you're being bulldozed through. Let me talk about one tiny little thing.
It's a numbers game.
I was told by my father when I was very young, you watch the pennies and the pounds will look after themselves. So let's talk about this comparatively small expense of $3 to $10 million for another council debating chamber, right? Now, where do you stand on that very quickly?
I've been against it right from the outset.
Okay.
We spent $150 million on the new building at Albert Street.
Yep.
And we're no sooner in there, we've no sooner got our feet under the table, then somebody comes up with a bright idea. Oh, by the way, we need to get a new council chamber in this building as well.
More empire building.
We don't want to walk the 400 metres.
Right. Okay.
Down to the
So
City
here's
Hall.
my point. So councillors are running a mile from this, but Len Brown isn't. Len Brown's trying to duck and dive. But surely the mayor should be saying, in the light of 9.9% average increases, for some people a lot more than that, surely he should be looking straight at journalists and saying, this will, over my dead body, I'll pay 1 cent towards another council chamber. He's not doing it.
Well, I can't speak for Len. If he may support it, in fact, I don't know.
Nobody knows.
No one knows.
No one knows.
But
All right.
certainly, you can take it from me that I'm against that.
Okay. Can we go ahead with Len Brown as mayor?
Well, we've got another 18 months.
But can we actually go ahead in a positive forward direction? Do you have confidence in him?
I have. Well, I have confidence.
Hang on a second. I'm going to stop you a second. No, Dick,
I don't have confidence in the plans that he's put up.
Okay.
The unitary plan, the long-term plan, any of those things.
Do you have confidence in Len Brown?
Look, I have confidence in Len.
Shoot, Dick, we're dancing on a head of a pin here, aren't we?
Well, you're asking me a question about, look, don't forget that 5 colleagues, along with myself, tried to get a vote of no confidence in Len Brown about 18 months ago. Look, at that point, we gave it away. I have no confidence in his plans, in the unitary plan, the long-term plan.
And yet I'm a ratepayer, you're a ratepayer. We are just forking out money for this stupid plan.
Absolutely. And, look, the whole idea of this compact city and so forth is going to create even more traffic.
He'll have the most livable city in the world that no one can afford to bloody live in.
Well, it won't be. The way it's going, it won't be.
Okay, imagine that I'm Len Brown. Tell me what you want me to do.
Well, Len, I want you to keep those rates within the rate of inflation, or just around, as you promised, just about around the rate of inflation. I want you to give more consideration to releasing land so that housing becomes more affordable. I want you to look at a transport plan which is more realistic and more efficient than just running spending $2.5 billion around a city rail link. So there's a whole bunch of things that Len, I want you to do.
Brilliant, Dick. Thank you. If the boot was on the other foot and you were Len Brown, I'd say, Len, resign.